There's a version of life that most of us are shown, fast, structured, always moving towards something more. And for a long time it makes sense, until it doesn't. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just quietly. Something beginning to feel out of place. Hi, I'm Veki Savic, and this is the first video in my Creators Review series, where I introduce you to people whose lives have stayed with me.
Look at this view!
Today I want to share a story through the work of Gaz Oakley. I've been following Gaz for over 5 years, back to his London days. Like most people, I first found him through food. The meals were colourful, put together with enthusiasm and ease, and there was something very appealing about how he approached it. But over time, something shifted, not away from food, but towards a different way of living through it. Gaz is known for cooking. At first glance, his channel is about recipes, meals, creating food. And it is, but like many things, that's only the surface. Because through Gaz's Life Reconsidered, he is sharing a different way of life. Across the videos I've selected here, what stood out to me most wasn't about what Gaz was making. It was how he was living. There's a noticeable shift, not just in location, but in pace. Everything feels slower, more deliberate, less driven by urgency, more guided by intention. This next moment shows that shift more clearly, not in words, but in how the day is being lived.
3 years ago, when I was packing up my life and moving to London, I never thought that one day I would leave the city lifestyle behind and move out to the beautiful Welsh countryside. I quickly got tired of the hustle and bustle of the city, the traffic and the noise. Then after a long coronavirus lockdown, a desire to be out in the open surrounded by nature had set in. Needing this sense of calm, I decided to move to the rural countryside of my beloved home country, Wales.
Watching Gaz, you begin to notice something. The work is still there, the effort is still there, but the rhythm has changed. There's no sense of rushing through the day, no pressure to optimize every moment, no feeling that something else is waiting just around the corner. Instead, what's in front of him is enough. What also came through is a stronger connection to food, to process, to where things actually come from. It's not abstract anymore, it's real, physical, grounded, and that changes the experience of everything. This next moment shows that connection in a way that doesn't need explaining.
Day to day, as I'm wandering through the mystical country lanes or jogging past herds of sheep, I feel connected to the land and a huge sense of peace within. I've always dreamed of being self-sufficient and growing my own food from seed, and a big part of the reason why I moved was to be able to do it.
What I find most interesting about Gaz's journey isn't that it doesn't feel like an escape. It feels like a return, not back to something old, but back to something that makes you feel comfortable, something more aligned. And when you see moments like this, you start to notice what's actually different.
As you know, I recently left the hustle and bustle of London and moved back to my homeland of Wales. But not to the city life of Cardiff where I grew up, but the peaceful surroundings of the rural countryside. I think this move came subconsciously. I was guided out of the city, longing for a sense of freedom and peace. As you know,
Because when you look at life like this, you realize something quietly. The definition of success we've been given might not be the only one. There's another version, one with more space, more presence, more connection. This next moment shows how that shift begins, not by stopping everything, but by choosing something different.
and being in the city, the claustrophobic feeling of London, especially during lockdown after lockdown, didn't help at all. Instantly, when I reached my new home and saw the natural beauty, the flowing Welsh hills full of vibrant shades of green, red kites flying above me, and my new furry neighbours, a sense of adventure set in. After all my life I'd lived in cities. Rain or sun, being outside in the open has been healing, and nothing more so than gardening and growing my own food.
Gaz had a full life in the city, but he exchanged that for something quieter, slower. And he didn't leave his knowledge behind, he expanded it, from food into the land it came from.
My main passion in life has always been cooking, and it's basically been a support mechanism for as long as I can remember. Being able to express my creativity is a great outlet. And it's a lot like gardening in the sense that you get your creative juices flowing and it's so therapeutic. But putting my homegrown fresh produce to the forefront of my dishes is something I've really enjoyed. I've cooked in some incredible restaurants, but nothing has topped picking my homegrown vegetables and cooking it a couple minutes later.
And this is where it became something more, not just cooking, but growing.
I grew this. You can too. And it's therapeutic and fun, and these taste unbelievable. Easy to do as well.
One of the biggest advantages of growing your own food is it can save you money. The price for a packet of seeds is almost the equivalent to what you would pay for a single vegetable or fruit at the shops. Plus you can grow organic vegetables for a fraction of the cost from those bought at the shops.
This next clip is a bit of a garden inspiration. Just notice the richness, the colour, the way it all comes together. And alongside that, Gaz reflects on what he wants more from life.
Now I can definitely still improve certain aspects of my life, and something I'm going to do more this year is socialise and try and build more of a community. I am a bit of a hermit in the sense that I love my own company, but relationships with friends, family and building new relationships is what life is all about.
What's interesting is this shift didn't limit him, it expanded what's possible. Even now you can see that there's still direction, still intention, just shaped differently.
My plan is to take my love for gardening to the next level and expand my vegetable garden even further, growing an abundance of food that I can preserve and eat all year round, plus supply my friends, family, neighbours and maybe even my restaurant. My plan is
Gaz's life has always been centred around health, food, movement, clarity. And when you place that in a different environment, everything deepens.
After any run, wherever you are, the high you feel after is simply unbeatable. The world sparkles a little differently after experiencing runner's high. Exercise, in turn, also motivates me to be healthier, food-wise. After a great workout, the last thing I want to put in my body is unhealthy foods.
Who wouldn't want to run in a place like this? This next clip shows how far that journey has come, how much has been built, learnt, grown over time.
4 years ago, I made a decision that would change my life completely. After years of feeling disconnected from myself and the natural world, and feeling so dependent on all the systems around me, living in busy cities, I packed up my things, left everything I knew, and moved out of the city into the unknown. First, I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't raised on a farm, I had no experience growing food, and I'd never sown any seeds. But deep down I had this passion and the desire was there.
I'm not showing you these moments to suggest you should leave your life behind, only to show that at any stage you can reconsider it and continue building, just in a different way.
As I started planting that first season, something inside me just shifted. There was something so powerful about planting those seeds in the ground and watching them grow, about feeling the seasons change and the soil on my hands, feeling the sun on my back, and then of course harvesting the food that I had nurtured from start to finish. Knowing exactly where they came from and bringing them back into my kitchen and seeing the huge cost saving that I was getting growing my own. This whole journey has also transformed the way I think of food. As a former chef, I was always obsessed with flavour and of course the creativity of cooking. But when you work with your own produce, it unlocks an entirely new level of appreciation and creativity. I never imagined that leaving the city and starting from scratch would lead me to here. I never saw myself as someone that would grow their own food, live off the land, or write a book about it. But looking back now, I realise that everything in life comes down to planting a seed. Whether it's an actual seed or a seed of an idea, a dream, a belief in yourself, if you nurture it, if you put in the patience and the time and dedication, it will turn into something beautiful and very real.
Moving to the country didn't reduce Gaz's ambitions, it reshaped them. New work, new projects, a growing connection to community. And life continued. He now has a beautiful partner, Tegan, a new baby, and a new venture in town.
Are actually opening a store, a shop. We've taken over a local store in the nearby town of Abergavenny in Wales, which is a beautiful historic market town with so many amazing things to see and do. Both of us have always wanted a shop individually, and we just said yes, and I can't quite believe we said yes to it now because it seems so overwhelming. But I'm just thinking, and we're both just imagining all of the joy and the excitement and love that we're going to get from interacting with you guys, our local community, and being able to offer some of the things that we love. So the store is called Tea Firm, which is farmhouse in Welsh. It's going to be a space that is basically an extension of our homestead. It's very scary, it's very daunting, but we're full of excitement, and I hope that we give something to the community and the people that come in, something special. It's going to be...
On a lighter note, as a knitter, I have to say I love that jumper. Gaz didn't stop creating, he didn't stop working. He simply changed the way his life is shaped around it. And in doing that, he created something that feels calmer, more grounded, more enough. If Gaz's story resonated with you, I've linked his channel and the videos featured here in the description box. This isn't my story to tell, only one to reflect on. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What have you been quietly reconsidering? Because maybe this isn't about finding answers straight away. Maybe it's simply about beginning. Until next time, this has been A Life Reconsidered.